Quick video today. So first of all, lovely sunny day in the Kent coast. Absolute stunning. Right, we've got Kubota U25-3. It will not start according to the customer. So I've come out today to have a look at it. I found the issue to be a fuel supply problem. So what I did first is I turned the ignition on. This is your 12-volt lift pump, which feeds down there to your main injection pump. Okay, and then obviously that feeds through to your injectors. So first of all, I took the pipe off the end of the lift pump and I turned the ignition on. The lift pump was functioning, but there was no fuel coming out. So second of all, I went down, took the panel off the side of the fuel tank, just the base panel, just to get to this hose down here. I removed this hose and the fuel was flowing out there nice and easy, no problem whatsoever. So we know the issue is not there and it's not a blockage inside the tank. So going back up to the engine, what I did then was this hose here on the top of the fuel filter housing. This hose travels down to the fuel separator filter here. So what I did is I took this hose off and I took the feed hose, which is this hose, from the fuel separator filter, and I put it on the back of the lift pump. Then I'll turn the key again and fuel was flowing through it. So second of all, we now know that the fuel separator filter is not blocked and it's doing its job. Right, so the next step was I put the hoses back exactly where they're supposed to be, turn the ignition again, once again no fuel. So then what I did is this hose here, which is the feed hose to the lift pump, I took this hose off and I put an air line down this hose on its own. I put my finger on one end and put an air line down the other end of this hose. Straight away I could hear air escaping. I found the issue to be, I've cut it away already, but I found the issue to be just approximately here. There was a hairline split on the fuel hose. So I cut that little bit away, pushed it back on, put the system back as it was, turned the key, and fuel was flowing out. So then I put the fuel pipe back on the side of the diesel injection pump, so everything is back as it was when I turned up. And now the belt's a bit squeaky. The belt's a bit squeaky, which I'll sort in a minute, just needs a slight adjustment. But now it's all up and running. So those are the steps, guys, realistically, to test what fuel issue you've got. After that, if all of those are doing their job and there is fuel coming out of this lift pump and it still won't start, you crack your injectors to make sure there's no air in them, turn it over, and if there's no fuel getting up to the injectors, then the issue would be on your main injection pump. But normally, start with all the areas I showed you first, and 90% of the time that'll be your issue somewhere along that row. Thanks for watching.